Okay, okay. Hi. Hello. I. I'm not late, am I? Okay, no, it is exactly 4 o'clock, and I am here, and I am doing the update thing, and it's time. It's time to talk about the updates. Right, it's time to do the thing. So, if you don't know who I am, or you are watching from the future, my name is Kara Lexi, and this is Pantsing Like a Pro. It is my journey to pants, or mostly pants, my journey to write and finish a manuscript. And the purpose of this channel is to hold me accountable for the things, hold me accountable for writing and hitting my word goals and getting this book done. When I started this channel a few weeks ago, my goal was to finish the book completely by the end of February. Um, and that's still mostly the goal. I'd like to finish it before then because I want to submit to things like author mentor match and maybe do pitmad and stuff like that. But right now I'm trying to finish my first draft and complete the manuscript by the end of November and get some critique partner feedback and maybe do some light developmental edits and get a manuscript assessment, which I have scheduled for the 1st of December. So I don't know if anybody's actually listening to me yet, or if I'm just talking to myself. um, no, I mean, according to this thing, there are two people watching. Hi, people watching. Hi. So, as usual, I did my thing where I wrote on this index card what I plan to talk about before I get to updates, and also what are the important updates I have for you guys, you folks, since guys is maybe kind of sexist. Um, anyway, so the first thing I want to talk about is October. It's October. Happy October. It's officially Halloween season for the folks who are all about Halloween. For me, it's approaching Diwali season because October and November is usually when Diwali is. And yeah, so it's the season of curry, as some of my friends liked to call it back in secondary school. Now, what else is important about October for writers? And that what else is Preptober. If you are familiar with NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month, you may be familiar with Preptober, which is when you prepare to write your novel in November. So you might do things like world building and character sketching and plotting and all of that good stuff, all of the outlining, all of these things. That's what you could do in Preptober. I won't be participating in Preptober because I've already started writing my manuscript and I've already kind of figured out, for the most part, my process, which is a little bit of planning and a little bit of pantsing, a lot more pantsing sometimes, occasionally some planning to help me get my like shizzle together. Um, but I do want to give a very, very quick hello, shout out, and congrats to the people in the Katha writing group, which is that's the local writing group that I run. Hi, newcomers, Anjali and Candy. Welcome. This is the lipstick. So I like my running joke, my personal inside joke, the one in my brain, is that these updates are important enough for me to like put on a bra and comb my hair or like wash my glasses or something. Anyway, I don't like put makeup on and stuff, but my friend who lives in the US, she got me this really nice lipstick, a purple and a red, and I was so excited about it that I put it on, and it's called Boss Lady, and it makes me feel like a boss. Yep, it's from Lip Bar. Yeah. Anyway, back to what I was saying, and I was saying shout out to the Katha Writing Group. That's what I was saying. So, Katha Writing Group is my local group of writers. And Talia Ishvari, who is right there in the chat under an alias. Um, she is self-editing her manuscript right now. Congrats, Talia. You finished your manuscript. And also, Julie, I don't know if Julie is here. I also don't know if Julie has a pen name I should be using, but Julie is doing Preptober right now in preparation to write in the month of NaNoWriMo. I believe that Anjali is also trying to do Preptober to write a novella for NaNoWriMo so that her final manuscript count is not like it's not going to be the first draft is the 50,000 words and you don't expect anything more out of that for NaNoWriMo. Sorry, oh, and you expect to expand, but like I think Anjali intends that 50,000 is kind of her upper limit because she's doing a novella. So, yay! I did mention last time that one of the thanks, Candy. I think it's serotonin in pursuit of serotonin. That's what it is. Candy says, I also like the t-shirt. I like it too. Um, I was thinking that I would like dress up to wear my sexy lipstick, but it's raining a lot and it's cold, so no. Yes. I keep forgetting that there's like a bit of a delay here. So I'm getting all of these messages from like YouTube or Facebook right now, just YouTube. And there probably there's definitely delay. I don't know how long the delay is, but I guess we figure it out. Yes, so yay for the writing group. We also just started with the writing group doing Friday prompts again. So a couple months ago, over what would have been the July August vacation or like the summer break for those folks who are in the US. Yes, yay for my friends completing manuscripts. It really is good news all around. Like Talia is probably she's kind of my role model for writing manuscripts because she pumped that manuscript out in just a couple months. She like I don't even know. I think the very first novel, she just sat down and like I don't know what she did, but she just finished that manuscript in a couple of weeks and I was like, How? I mean, don't get me wrong, like every first draft it needs work, but I would love to be able to do that. Like Talia is my role model for that. I'm really impressed by her. She also has two kids and she's a full-time mommy. Uh it's wow. I can't even. It's crazy how she manages it. What was I talking about before I like started gushing over Talia? Prompts. So over that, what would have been the summer vacation for American folks, we would do a prompt every Friday. If you are one of my friends who was reading my blog and you're familiar with HNS or Helen and Safala, that's where Helen and Safala were born. Uh, we haven't done those writing prompts in a really long time because everybody has been really busy, but we just started doing them again this month, in part because of Preptober to kind of help us get those juices flowing. And we're going to do it every single Friday. I'm going to post these prompts every single Friday on social media so anybody can join in. We will use the Katha Writing Group hashtag so that people can find these writing prompts really easily. If you're interested in doing the writing prompts with the rest of us, I'm not sure that I'm actually going to participate in these prompts. I'll be really straightforward. I'm doing this because I think the rest of the group loves it and likes it, and they kind of want something to like, inviggle them to do some writing every weekend. I'm not doing them. I'll do some. I'll probably do some, but I'm not like holding myself to it to do them because I know that the novel is what has to take priority right now. So yay on the one hand, boo on the other. Hi, Nikki. Welcome. Nikki says hello. So yeah, we've been doing these Friday writing prompts, and they just started on Friday. So what else is happening? Also more Katha Writing Group news. One of our members, JS Krishan, he submitted to Pitch Wars. And if you don't know what Pitch Wars is, it's basically where there are a whole bunch of authors who either have agents and book deals, or I think maybe just have agents. I can't quite remember. I think there's one mentor who doesn't yet have a book deal, but he does have an agent, and he was a past Pitch Wars um, mentee. But anyway, so I think there's like 100 and something mentors. There's a lot. There are a lot of mentors, and you submit your manuscript along with, well, not your full manuscript. You submit a query. So if you don't know what that is, because I think I may have explained that before, but your query is basically um, like your query letter, which is like your cover page or your cover letter, your synopsis, I think you may have to submit for Pitch Wars, I can't remember. And you submit the first 10 pages of your manuscript. I think that's it. Anyway, so you submit that and you choose 4 out of the like 100 and something mentors or mentorship pairs that you want to potentially be mentored by. And then these mentors, right now, the reading period is happening. So these mentors are reading all of the Pitch Wars submissions. Um, you can find that, I think it's hashtag Pitch Wars. And they're doing Pitch War teasers where they like, some mentors will post teasers about the submissions that they read. And that I think is hashtag PW teasers. I think that's all on Twitter. But anyway, I'm rambling as usual. But the reason I mentioned that is because in this kind of gap where people are just reading and you're sitting down there biting your nails, especially if you are somebody who submitted to Pitch Wars, there's this thing called PW poll prompts. So Pitch Wars poll prompts, I suppose it is. And they are, I don't know what the poe is for. Like, I don't know if that's the name of their mascot or if that's because the mascot is an owl, which is, it's kind of counterintuitive that the mascot is an owl and is named Poe. Because I remember telling Brendan about that, and he was like, "An owl, really, not a raven?" And I was like, "I don't know. Maybe it has nothing to do with Edgar Allan or whatever." Oh no, electricity just went by Angeli, who is a bit from here. Speaking of, so we had an earthquake maybe about half an hour to 45 minutes before this stream started. It was 5.2, I think. So Miguel Owen says that, I don't know why I'm saying these things. I could just be like, hey, electricity was lost where Angeli is. And Miguel Owen says that that's the mascot's name. So, okay, so it is the mascot's name. And they have a prompt for every single day of the reading period. I think that's October 2nd to November 6th. And I'm doing some of the prompts for that as well. Even though I'm not submitting to Pitch Wars, it's not a requirement. Like, you could do the Pitch Wars stuff without having been someone who submitted. It's just kind of to get to know each other in the writing community and the Pitch Wars community, I believe. A lot of the mentors are doing it as well. Okay. So I say all that to say that another big thing for the Katha writing group is that one of our members submitted to Pitch Wars. So big good lucks to JS for that. I am very proud of him. That's my brother. Okay. So what's next? I kind of want to talk a little bit about brain fog and writer's block, because I've been experiencing one or both of those for the last, I would say, 2 weeks or so. The first part is that, so some people think that writer's block doesn't exist, right? I saw one of the AuthorTube folks that I watch is Alexa Dunn, and she just put out a video this week about writer's block, and how it does exist. It does not exist, but yes, does kind of. And I probably watched like 3 to 5 minutes of it, and I haven't been able to finish it yet. No fault of Alexa's. I watched most of her videos from start to finish. I think they're very informative. I just haven't gotten around to this one. But in a previous video, she had said writer's block doesn't exist. Uh, I think that's crap. I think sometimes you're lazy. I think sometimes you're anxious and you need a mental health break. Uh, and there are all sorts of other things that can happen in between that create some kind of barrier between you and the words on the page. Um, Nikki says his full name is Poe Warburton. Cool. I don't know how you found that. To be fair, I didn't try that hard. So you know what? I'm not gonna even go there. I was just like, oh, this is cool. Distracted by novel. Um, Also, Nikki, that's such a cute picture. Which puppy is that? Is that Flame? Is that I can't remember all of the other dogs' names. Nikki got a lot of puppies. She's got like as many doggies as I have cats, and I got 5 cats. Um, she might have more dogs than I have cats. Anyway, writer's block, brain fog, and at some point Nikki will tell me which cute puppy this is in her photo. So I did make a post some time ago asking about. So I guess this is how Nikki found out what the about the mascot. Google is my friend, and the puppy is Jasper. Jasper, so cute. Okay, I made a post about brain fog, and I got a crap ton of suggestions for how to overcome writer's block. And I was like, guys, thank you. Thank you for all of this lovely advice. I really appreciate it. But all the things that normally get me through writer's block, which for me is and I think that this is maybe like where the thing comes in because I think that the general definition of writer's block is that there's just a creative block that's preventing you from coming up with new ideas or being creative or something like that, I guess. But for me specifically, writer's block is when I cannot write. Like I physically, like I sit there and I don't have words. I do not have words or I do not know what happens next. So I don't have words to put on the page. I don't have words to type. There's nothing in my mind that needs to be out. There's nothing in my mind that needs to just get onto the page. Um, but I know, right? And this is something that's been really annoying me for the last 2 weeks because I have the words. I know what happens next. I know the things. But my mind is so unfocused and it's been so fuzzy and it's been so difficult to push through that fog and get those words from my brain onto the page. Get those events that I know happen from my brain onto the page. It's been really, really difficult to make that happen. However, Nikki says that she may need to name her next dog Poor Warburton, and I am 100% behind this. I think it's a fantastic name, and it will obviously will become my favorite. It will become my favorite dog. Like that's just how it's gonna happen. Uh, I don't know what I was talking about because I'm a squirrel. I'm a squirrel. Brain fog and writer's block. I've been having trouble focusing. Can you tell? Okay. So yeah, I've had this brain fog problem with focusing on my work. I think that some of it is definitely health related. We do have like high blood sugar and diabetic concerns in my family, and I personally already have high blood pressure. Yes, I am in my early 30s and I have high blood pressure. Yay! Medical complications. But I think that this may be part of where the brain fog is coming from. And I think the rest of it is just anxiety. Because, drum roll, I hit the end of Act 1. And you already know that because that was the name of this video. I updated it, I think, the morning after I hit the end of Act 1. And it's done. I finished Act 1 of this book. This novel's Act 1 is complete as it you can be in like a 0/1/1 1.5, 1.25 draft or whatever you want to call it. It's done. I'm very happy about it. Initially, I wanted this novel to be 90,000 words. And if you have a 90,000 word novel and you are using a Save the Cat beat sheet, then the end of Act 1 happens at 20,475 words. And my Act 1 was completed at initially 20,322 words or something like that. And then I went and I added like a couple things, just like some small things. And then it was 20,465. So 10 words away from the thing it's supposed to be at. And now, like, I'm not one of, I'm not about to like be all, oh my God, the beat sheet says this. I need to add this specifically. Like, whatever. Like, the beat sheet is a guide, it's not a rule. Also, like in writing, rules are made to be broken, or bent, or twisted, or stuff. But I was kind of pleased with that. I was like, oh my God, I'm on the right track, yay! And then I woke up to start Act 2, and I'm maybe like 1,000 words into Act 2, and my brain is like, merp, merp. And the rest of me is upset that my brain is like, merp. Act 2 can happen sometime. I don't know if it's just that I need a break. Or thank you, David. David also loves the shirt. Yeah. We are all in pursuit of this neurochemical. Julie says, look a reach, but a cooking. So a back and forth. But hi. I clicked this so that y'all could see this photo because Julie is hot as sin. Anyway, that's my friend. Okay. Yeah, I'm struggling, man. I don't know if it's just my brain needs a break or there is some clarity about Act 2 and exactly what happens in these moments directly after Act 1 ends that I'm not clear about, and that's the reason I'm struggling to push through. And I've kind of figured that out. So I decided that that was the problem, that I'm having so much trouble focusing and getting into Act 2 and really pushing through all of this because there are some moments that I'm not certain about. There are some events that I know happen, but I'm not entirely sure how they happen yet. And so what I started doing actually just today, because today I decided on Friday after I had just like putzed around following the end of like reaching the end of Act 1 that this weekend I was going to write between Friday night and tonight, Sunday night. I would write at least 5,000 words for the weekend. I don't know why I decided that that was a thing I was going to do or why I decided that was realistic. It may not be, but I'm going to try. Uh, because I want to hit 25,000 words by Monday or Tuesday at the worst. And I'm at just under 22,000 right now. So I want to cross that 25,000. In part because I'm going to get more cake from Candice, and Candice is an incredible baker. But also because I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to get past this hump or hurdle or whatever it is. So I wrote down all of the things that I know happen in Act 2. And I think when I'm finished with that, I'm going to sit down and figure out if this actually the order in which these things happen, because it might not be. And then I will, I don't know, and then I'll try to fill in the blanks. How do I get from point A to point B? And I think that if I can do that and give myself like that internal clarity that I need, then I'll be able to push out Act 2 like nothing, right? Because that's what's happened before, like those days where I've written like over 2,000 words, or I'm consistently writing over 1,000 words a day for the last week or so. Those were the times when I was completely clear, and sometimes I did stuff like this. There are some answers, there's some questions too that I need to answer, and then the answers to those questions will end up here in the list of things that happen in Act 2, and then just like put everything in order. So that's where I'm at. Um, it is, I guess, a technique to overcome writer's block. I'm not sure because brain fog is potentially a medical thing and not just you know, I'm futzing around thing. Then I guess I just have to hope that this is some kind of weird writer's block and I can push through this and get Act Two done. Um, Act Two is supposed to be the longest part of the book, and Act Two is often known as the saggy middle, where things slow down or things, you get bogged down and stuff. And I'm really hoping to avoid that. I don't know that I can, but I'm going to try my best. And to help me with that, I have found myself a super awesome new critique partner. Uh, this is one of the reasons that I started participating in the poll prompts because I feel like so David is saying David is a doctor, by the way. He prefers GABA personally. It's the chemical of inhibitions, the mana of introvert, as opposed to serotonin. And I'm guessing that this comment here is about brain fog, where he says that brain fog um, is medical because we run low on neurotransmitters after some time, and writers are very prone to decision fatigue, particularly because every word is a tiny decision that you have to make, and it's something like 200 decisions a minute. That makes so much sense. That makes so much. It explains why I can't write well when I'm tired, and it explains why I'm tired after I write. My mind is blown, okay? I should have been applying my molecular biology background to this problem in this neurochemical way. What? I kind of feel silly that I didn't do it right now, but I'm glad it was done. And you know what? Maybe I am glad that I didn't like have to sit down and figure this out because that would be more work that my brain would have to do that I would not be able to spend the energy on writing. So, thank you very much. Okay. Um I don't even know what I was talking about. Critique partners and the poll prompts, right? So doing these poll prompts, I met a fellow bi brown badass woman on Twitter, and she and I became critique partners like yesterday. That was really cool. I really like her. She has my Act One. I've got the first 15 chapters of her completed manuscript. And yeah, I'm reading it. When I'm not reading it, I'm writing. When I'm not reading it or writing, it's probably because I have like work to do, like day job stuff. So yay. She's super awesome and I really like her work. And I love my critique partners in the Katha writing group. I absolutely love them. They are incredible human beings. They are incredible critique partners. But the one caveat is that they do not write in my genre. Nobody there writes in my genre. Talia just recently started writing in my genre, and she doesn't actually read in the genre yet. I think the only urban fantasy that she's read is my urban fantasy, which doesn't really count. It's kind of weird. Um, I guess it's offset by the fact that she's a talented writer because when you read her stuff, you don't read it and go, "Oh, that's trash." Like it's still really good. Um, but this my new critique partner is in my genre. She also writes urban fantasy. She clearly has read a lot of the kinds of books and probably the same titles that I've read. And the feedback that I got when we exchanged first chapters just to see if we would make good critique partners, the feedback that I got was great. And I already have ideas for how I would like I did want to read it, but then I was like, if I don't read it, I'm not gonna know if we'd make good critique partners or not. So I had to read it. But yeah, I already have ideas for how I'm gonna go back and change certain things. I was also glad to see that I didn't make any like big giant mistakes. So for the most part, the feedback was good. So that makes me confident that I'm doing the right thing. But of course, it's an early draft, so there's enough to fix that I'm excited about going back to fix it. I just don't want to get myself distracted and end up going back to fix it instead of writing my act 1, my act 2 and 3. One of the things that I'm thinking of doing is even after I have all of this stuff ordered out for act 2 is maybe just writing what I know happens in act 3. And I feel two ways about that. On the one hand, I think it's going to be easier to do than trying to just muddle through act 2 until I figure it out. Um, and it's going to, I'm going to get words on the page much more quickly. But on the flip side, when I go back to write Act Two, uh, stuff's gonna change. Stuff's gonna change, and I'm gonna end up like cutting, deleting, and changing so much in whatever I write in Act Three. I'm probably just gonna be like to myself, and I don't know if I want that. If this method here doesn't work, then that's what I'm going to do. So on the one hand, boo, haven't been like getting a lot of words on the page. But on the other hand, yay, solutions. Also, to add to last week's discoveries, where I discovered that I have extreme difficulty writing before the sun goes down, it seems that my peak writing periods are somewhere around 11 p.m. to 2 a.m., which is great, except for the fact that I usually have to get up for work well before 8 o'clock. Not so great. I don't know, David, if you have any medical explanations for why that is. But I'm open to hearing it to see how I can adjust. Because it works, but also, oh my gosh, I'm so tired when I wake up. And then I try to like nap during the day, but that doesn't work out so well. David's diagnosis is it be like that sometimes. Okay, well, thank you, Dr. Gidler. So let's see. I think I've covered most things. We've talked about Preptober. I've given all of the shout outs that I remember I should be giving to the Cat That Writing group. I've talked about how I got to the end of Act 1. I mentioned that I write best, I guess, in the middle of the night, like a widow or an owl or both. I talked about how I've been kind of stuck in the mud, but I think I've maybe finally figured out the solution to that, and we'll see what happens next. This whole brain fog versus writer's block thing, and how maybe they might be the same thing sometimes, and I think that this might be one of those times. I've talked about my new critique partner, which is very exciting. And I think that the only thing left for me to talk about in terms of updates. Oh, Candy says that this is also her peak productivity time. Yay, us night folk. I'm perfectly happy for that to be my peak productivity time. I just wish that I also didn't have to wake up at like 7 or before 7 in the morning for work, because then I inevitably, if I finish writing at 2, and it's always going to be more like at 2:30 or 3, because I'll like kind of wind down, like I'll get to the end of my best productivity time, and I'll be like, well, I could add a word here, or let me read over this paragraph and see if I'm satisfied by it before I move on. Which, by the way, is something that you're not supposed to do when you're just writing. But that's sometimes that's how I kind of stay in my zone, is by reading like the previous paragraph. So not like from the beginning of the book or anything, but just like the last couple paragraphs, so that I can get my head back into the same mindset, into the same place to continue. So I'll like do stuff like that, and I'll do like little tiny things, and I'll check my word counts, and I'll update my plotter. I'll do all that stuff, and then of course I'll like brush my teeth or comb my hair or whatever people do at that hour. I'm usually kind of sleepy by then, so I don't remember all the things that I do. But that means that by the time I actually get into bed, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. And and I have to wake up like in less than 5 hours. And for some people, that's okay. But if I sleep less than 5 hours and that sleep is not a real good sleep, Olia, I am trash in the morning. I am trash. Okay, I'm trash in the morning with like 6 to 8 regular hours of sleep. So Anjali says, and now that I'm testing my blood sugar several times a day, I find that I am most clear-headed when the reading is in the normal range. I completely agree with this. Anjali also said that it has helped a lot, and looking back, it explains a lot over the last couple of years. And I agree, especially because being a woman with polycystic ovaries, I am pre-diabetic. I already have high blood pressure. Uh, but I'm pretty sure that my blood sugar has something to do with this. And I'm pretty certain that part of the reason I'm so clear headed and so able to focus and to work at those hours is because that's when my blood sugar is, I guess, normal, right? Like by the time 11 p.m. hits, I probably haven't eaten for a while. My blood sugar is a bit lower, but I'm somewhere balanced where I've eaten enough that I'm not like lightheaded or anything. And I don't know. I don't know. But I think that that's what it is. I will be purchasing a glucose machine. I'll get a machine. It's expensive as hell because those glucose strips, those test strips are not cheap. But I will get it and I will be checking my blood pressure regularly. One of the so like I've actually let go of some of my like volunteer based work that I've been doing over the last few weeks just because it's been such a struggle. And I think that at this point, I need to choose, do I want to give up my health, my novel, my day job in order to continue doing some of those things I was volunteering for? And the answer is I don't want to give up my health, my novel, or my day job. Because if I give up my day job, there's no rent or food. If I give up my novel, I will hate myself for the rest of my life. And if I give up my health, what's the point? So that's where I'm at. Uh, and I will be looking at monitoring my blood sugar and whatnot to see if, not if, but to see what effect that has on my ability to do work, not just my writing work, but my day job of work as well. Because I have found, the brain fog doesn't just mess with my novel writing, it messes with the things that pay my bills. And that's dangerous. So let's see. The final big step that I've taken, as many of you already know, last week I committed to hiring a professional editor to do a reader's report, which is kind of like a manuscript assessment on my completed novel that is scheduled to start on December 1st. Obviously, it's something I have to pay for because it's a professional editor. And I made my first payment toward that today. So I've broken it up because duh, money. We've broken it up into multiple payments over the next few months, and I made my first payment not today, but like earlier this week. And so it's real now. Olia, it's real. I mean, I thought it was real last week, but I hadn't actually spent any money yet. Like nothing did jump out my pockets. But now it's absolutely real. And if I don't get a substantial amount, if not this entire first draft, to that editor by December 1st, I'm going to be very upset with myself. But there is nothing to motivate you like knowing you've wasted your hard earned money that could have gone to something else. So I'm motivated. I think that's why instead of just being like, oh, I need a break, I went and I'm like writing out all of these things to push through Act Two. And I'm like, what are other things I could do? I could start Act Three, and even if I have to start it over, blah, blah, blah. I think that that's I think that that's where it's from. I think that that's what's happened. Uh Yeah, because there's no way I'm spending. It's not a lot of money, I think, by like US standards. Um, and certainly, the way it's broken up, it's very manageable. But I don't live in the US, and every dollar US is like almost $7 TT. So, whatever I'm spending on this edit, I'm spending 7 times as much in my local currency. So it is very important that every cent is worth it. And I'm confident that the editor is worth it. Because like I said, it's actually a very, very reasonable number. But I need to hold up my end of that, which is produce this manuscript. So, nose to the grindstone for me. Uh, I'm probably going to have to get that blood monitor sugar thing sooner rather than later, because if that's affecting this brain fog, definitely need to have that sorted out ASAP. I do foresee some other challenges outside of my health, which would be work, because for one of, as you guys may know already, I do freelance work, and for one of my contracts, we are entering what we call the urgent period, where basically I work anywhere from like 50% more to twice as much for that one particular contract to make sure all of our clients under that contract are tied up and ready to go with a nice bow by the end of the year. And that started this month. So wish me luck, because my brain's going to be doing a lot of work. So over the next few months. And I think that's it. Have you guys done your homework? And I'm gonna sit here quietly while I wait for the delayed comments to come in. If you forgot what your homework was to find books in the urban fantasy genre that you can read that might be potentially comparative titles for me to use. I'm gonna sit here for like 10 seconds, and if nobody has anything to say about homework, and if nobody has any questions, then I'm going to end the stream, which is kind of interesting. This would actually be the shortest stream that I've done. Wow. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What? We have no questions. We have no comments about homework. I guess that's it. Oh, we have comments. So Steven says, I made it from the start, but all I could think is that some hot lipstick. Thank you. It is very hot lipstick. Um, Not sure that I will continue to wear this lipstick, but it looks nice and it makes me feel nice. Maybe I will, cause it's not like I'm going anywhere to dress up, so why not? Uh, Nikki says that she is a slacker, um, riding on the coattails of others, and that's okay. That's totally fine. And yeah, Nikki, I know that you've had a lot going on, so trust me, that's not a big deal. Uh, okay. Now, I do think that that might be it. I guess I might give it another couple seconds since it seems like there was actually quite a delay there. Um, but I think that that's it. A few folks have already dropped off. Nobody else is watching on Facebook, which means it's just you guys who are still on YouTube, you folks who are still on YouTube. Candy says she's still been reading Make Room, Make Room. I don't know what that is. I will Google it, however. And I think this is it. We're at 45 minutes. It is the shortest stream I've done, but it is also the closest. Like, I always thought that these streams would be like 20 to 30 minutes. Um, and they've been like hours long. Well, an hour. But this has been really cool. I do think that I've done a lot of just like verbal diarrheaing today. But that's what it is when it's just me. I will, however, be having guests soon. So my friend Julie, who is back and forth right now because she's cooking, I have invited her to guest on the stream so that we can talk about Preptober and about the difference between our styles, since I am mostly a pantser and I believe Julie is mostly a plotter. And I'll be doing that with a few other members from the Katha Writing Group and anybody else who I think might have some really interesting input to help me and to help me stay accountable, to help me with my writing style, help it evolve, and to help you if that's what you are watching this channel for, assuming you're looking from it at it from the future. So happy birthday. I didn't say that, but I've been, Soylent Green is People the book. Oh no. Oh, why? Ugh. No. Thanks, Steven. Steven says I did a good job. Okay. And my mom says she's hoping to reread Dune. Thanks, Mom. All right, folks. Thank you so much for watching today. Thank you so much for keeping me accountable. And thank you so much for just being you. I'm ending the stream now. Mwah. This lipstick is lovely. Okay, bye.